We need to remain cautiously optimistic about the future recruiting operations as we continue to recruit in a market that has low youth propensity to serve, limited familiarity with military opportunities, a competitive labor market, and a declining eligibility among young adults. More specifically, we've observed over the last decade a growing divide between military and civilians. Data indicate that many of today's youth are not interested in military service and have many misperceptions about what life is like as a service member. Additionally, for the first time since this metric has been tracked, the majority of youth have never even considered military service as an option. That is, it's not even on the radar. This divide has been brought about by a confluence of many factors, including the shrinking military footprint and declining veteran presence across society. Young Americans now have fewer direct ties to a family member or a close friend who has served in the military. For example, in 1990, 40% of our young adults had a parent who served. That's down to 15% today.
For this News Nation special report, I spoke to members of the U.S. Army, the Navy, and the Special Forces. With a recruitment shortfall in the tens of thousands, they tell me enlisting young American men and women has never been a higher priority. It's a major effort to maintain a defense that for centuries has been declared the very best in the world.
Company, forward!
Our military is in crisis, an overwhelming issue blatantly apparent in recruitment centers across the country, which, despite offering lucrative signing bonuses of up to $100,000 in tuition reimbursement opportunities for soldiers, spouses, and children, are still struggling to sign new soldiers.
Recruiting is an uphill battle across the country right now.
Over the past few years, the U.S. Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines have struggled to meet their goals. In 2022, the Army missed that mark by 15,000 people, a full 25% short of its target. In 2023, the Army projects a 10,000 soldier shortfall. Likewise, the Navy wants to bring aboard 50,000 active duty and reserve recruits this year.
We are challenged by the fact that a small number of young Americans, 23%, are qualified to serve. Fewer still, we're finding, are interested in serving. And that's something that we are working very hard to change.
Former Green Beret John Spears fought in Vietnam. He points to a number of reasons why the decline is so significant.
There is a cultural bias against a young person who makes that decision to join the military, that they're somehow taking a less desirable pipeline to success.
To meet its quotas, some branches of the U.S. military are making concessions for recruits who could have once been disqualified.
You are no longer a civilian.
Like the Navy, which may offer waivers to those with previous drug use, have a history of mental illness, or who scored low on aptitude tests if they believe their candidate could still be molded into a quality sailor. But the sudden acceptance of once considered subpar recruits begs a serious question.
If the United States were to suddenly be in a conflict, would our military be able to hold the line and be the best defense that it's always been projected to be?
I'm 100% confident that our military can and would do what it needs to do to hold the line and win our nation's wars.
As America enters its 50th year of an all-volunteer force, military leaders don't foresee a draft in our future.
We have the greatest, smartest, most physically fit, ready soldiers that I have ever seen in my life. We have the highest grade military member that we have ever had. Anybody who wants to start the adventure of their life, I say go for it.
Recently, in an effort to get more of those unqualified Americans in, both the U.S. Army and the Navy have launched prep courses for those soldiers and sailors who may not meet those physical or intellectual requirements of the U.S. Army and Navy and military. Basically, this is a way for them to cut weight or get the grades that they need to actually join our armed forces. Elizabeth?
All right, Alex Capriello on board the battleship Iowa. Thanks so much for that report.
Hey, Shalom, Makim, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone and rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. News in the gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a lesson through the Spirit. Lord's will to be edifying. What you was witnessing here was a couple of videos put together How the military has been short 15,000 men. Okay, they're down 15. I think they was up 40% during the time of NAM, but now they up within the 15% rank, which is pretty low. And they mentioned because people are not qualified mentally or physically. And the reason for that is because the agendas you push, okay? And the internet, for one thing, has opened up the Pandora's box of information that how the U.S. military goes around the world. And basically, you're just a group of hitmen for hire to go over there to extract resources from people against their will. Okay, you go into lands to bully people to accept the Federal Reserve note, which you have what they call the military industrial complex, which basically the US dollar is being backed behind. That's your job, to go over there to cause chaos and to establish a currency that nobody really wants to deal with because it's a decline. But not only that, I mean, the woke agendas. I mean, you've done it to yourself. And it's really Bible prophecy, because the scriptures goes into how the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight, because I remember they had like a 50% recruitment shortage. And then I remember they was talking about 77% of the people in America is not qualified to join the military because, for one thing, those aptitude tests, which basically deals with it's really common sense if you understand formulas. But these people are not mentally equipped to handle or to solve the basic problems here, because everybody is on their phones 24/7. Okay, you got destructive curriculums that's being taught in the schools. The men are out of shape. The women are trying to become men. Boys don't have testosterone because they're sitting back, watching porn all day, and it's just like it's bad timing for you, Esau, because this is the worst time to have the weakest military. Which that guy here, what's this dude's name? What's this clown? This dude right here. He's lying out of his teeth. He's basically telling you that we have the strongest military, we are the most physically fit. No, the hell you're not. Okay, when you go back to World War II in Vietnam, those soldiers were running laps around these dudes, man. This is why when you go to those particular centers and veterans centers and stuff like that, and you see these guys, they are hardened because they've saw war. Okay, and a lot of these old veterans, they'll wipe the floor with these young people here today, man, because like I said, these young men, they don't have no discipline. Their training regimens are all messed up, and they're full of estrogen, man. Okay, and then like I said, you got a lot of them that's trying to become women. Okay, you've pushed that woke policy in under Obama's term. Don't ask, don't tell. Men in there getting sex changes. And the crazy part about it is that the military will pay for it, which is stupid because everybody knows, scientifically proven, that a man's testosterone lies within his ball sack. That's what a man needs to thrive. Okay, this is why, abstaining from certain things is always good. Like the apostles always went into it. Like if you got a woman, you become weak around that woman because she depletes your testosterone because you're constantly having sex with her and busting in all day. And eventually, you become lackadaisical, you become weak. You don't want to do anything. You don't have the energy to do anything. It's because, you're giving all your strength to this woman. And I'm just using the woman for an example. But overall, these men, they're out of shape. They don't work out. They eat bad food. They eat sugar all day. They sit in front of the couch playing video games. And they just giving up. So, a recruitment shortage is very likely, And he said, well, we don't have to use a military drive because you don't have enough people, bro. You heard the dude say y'all was like 40% short. Okay, so he's talking about we not going to have to reinstate a drive. Yes, you are. Okay, and the average person, they just don't want to join the military because, for one thing, it's unethical. Okay, you got all types of wickedness that happen in the military, man. And most Jakes join the military because they looking to pay their way through school or college and, to have a decent apartment and to drive something nice to go and do dugouts or spin outs with their Hellcats and live to do it again. That's really what Jake want to do. And the women, they go over there to the military to just flex, to show that, oh yeah, I can do what a man can do. With a lot of women that join the military, actually a lot of them be getting popped. There are a lot of them that are just there to be popped and tossed to the side, man. But anyway, let me look this up. Let's look up the armed reserves. The Damn, I lost my train of thought. How short is the nah. I'm trying to think of a way. Damn, I'm trying to think of where the road. I just lost my train of thought. What was the recruitment shortage? I hate these phones, man. Of armed forces. Let's see what it tells us. Bingo. Not enough soldiers. It says 3 of America's 4 major military services failed to recruit enough service members in 2023. It says the Army has failed to meet its manpower goals for the last 2 years and missed its 2023 target by 10,000 soldiers as a 20% shortfall. Yep. Yeah, so that's pretty much that's pretty it. That's pretty much it. Now, I mean, it's kind of bittersweet now because you got DJ that's gonna assume the office of Babylon. Here comes January 20th, I believe, and that's kind of bittersweet because you got Edomites. They're kind of got that pride back in them. They got the pep in their step now, so they like we with it. But at the same time, a lot of these liberals, they ain't joining the military on the Trump's watch because they believe that Trump is very unhinged, you know, and Trump will send you to the Trump will bring back a U.S. military drive. He definitely will bring that back. And guess what? You women, you're going to have to join too, you know. But Trump, he's very likely to bring back a drive because, hey, remember, Putin warned him and said, look, if you even try to stop the war in Ukraine, we going to hit you with a JFK type assassination attempt, man. You know? And that's a threat right there, so don't get involved. But regardless, he's going to have to back up B.B. Mikowski because they have a undying loyalty to the small hats, man. Okay, and if you were going to join the military, I think the best, and which I'm not encouraging brothers to do it, but I'm just speaking in general, like if you was to join the military, the best branches of military will be the Navy or the U.S. Air Force because they don't really do shit. Okay, but see, you have to score high on an aptitude test, and most people are not mentally inclined to join the Air Force. So a lot of times, even the U.S. Army, you know, you got the Navy, the Army, the Air Force. Okay, like shit. Me before I was gonna go into the Air Force, I was like literally like that close. You know what I'm saying? And soldiers was telling me, like, man, you would have been a good soldier. You would have been like, look, dude, I'm a soldier for you. How about you? How was shy? I remember, man, I was this was probably earlier this summer, and I was in a gym working out, and this old retired police veteran. He was asking me like what I did. He was asking me, was I like in some type of arts and stuff like that? I'm like, yeah, I train, you know, what's up? And I guess he was retired police captain. He was like, you know, you would be a good cop, man. I said, what? He said, yeah, I know what people think about the police. I said, I'm not interested. He said, whatever you know, my buddy, I'm like, nah, bro, I'm cool, you know? Like, don't be trying to fucking recruit me, bro, to be no damn pig. I'm cool on that. Now, maybe if you would have talked to me 20 years ago, you know, when I was young and getting out of high school, then, you know, it would have been a case. But even in that case, I would have rather been a fucking firefighter than a damn cop, man. You know, but that's the point. They know Jake is physically able to do these things, man. But Esau he's through. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just like, nah, I'm good, bro. I'm a cop for Yahweh Shimi Hawashai. I'm a lawgiver for the Lord. You feel me? You know. But it says 3 of America's 4 military services failed to recruit enough service members in 2023. And that number just going to decline. So they're going to have to bring back a draft. Okay, like I tell Esau all the time, hey, take them against their will. Hey, grab them up and snatch them up and put their ass in a van and send them to basic training and send them to the Middle East. Because they don't serve a purpose any damn way, right? And a lot of these dudes are just afraid, you know? They're afraid. So this is the book of Judges 7. And I'm gonna go into this is when Gideon chose what 300, okay, to go up against what is this here, Judges 7, and I'm gonna start at verses 1. It says, then Jerubbaal, who is Gideon, which he was a man of the Most High, all right, and all the people that were with him rose up early and pitched beside the well of Herod, so that the host of the Midianites were on the north side of them, and the hill of Moreh in the valley. And the Midianites are basically like a faction of Ishmaelites, man. Okay, if you study the lineages, they come out of the loins of Ishmael. It says, and the Lord said it to Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hand, lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, my own hand have saved me. Because see, the Lord, he has to make a statement, so he wasn't going to allow all the men to go there, because see, Jake get proud and say, yeah, I did this of my own. You know, so the Lord was like, you know what, we don't need strength in numbers. I look what the Lord did through Samson, one man that put 1,000 men to death. And it says here, now go therefore to proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, whosoever is fearful, okay, and you notice the men of Babylon, they're really fearful because, hey, they did a survey back in 23. They're like, man, how many people believe that World War III is inevitable? And 66% of the people, they was like, look, man, yeah, we believe World War III is pretty much getting ready to start, especially since the start of October 7th last year with this dude, B.B. Mikowski. And we're there. And Trump, he may just be the man that take him over the edge, Lord's will. But it says, whoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead, and there return the people 20 and 2,000, and there remain 10,000. Okay, so even among them, they had to break down the numbers, all right? But it says if anybody was afraid, then don't go to war. Okay, because when you went to war, you had to have a certain valiant spirit in you, man. Okay, and that's one thing about our people. Jake, we were warriors, man, all right? But the 2/3 of our people, they totally are in a docile state. But the Lord is going to drop their ass to this third world war because Esau is not going to have the numbers, man. Okay, and this is what they're talking about. And they're not putting out shortages for no reason. And you got this guy talking about, well, we're not going to have a draft anytime soon. Dude, you're getting ready to be plunged into the middle of a world war. You're going to need as many bodies and casualties as possible, man. Okay, I won't be surprised if they won't be grabbing people up off the streets with no experience and just saying, look, here go a gun, go over there and shoot. Okay. And you women, a lot of you going to be drafted. Especially those liberals in there that had all that smoke against men. You know, about how I hate this damn phone. Sometimes the screen recording, if the screen goes off, the recording is shut off. I have to change that setting. But anyway, a lot of you women are going to get grabbed up and recruited as well, because for the simple fact, you know, hey, you want to be independent, you want to be like men, hey, go over there and fight for your country since you love it so much. All right, Jeremiah 51, and I'm going to start at verses, let's start at verses 27. And it reads, set up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, and prepare nations against her. Now, this is calling a war against Babylon, right? And you see everything that's happening around the world today, everything is leading up to the third world war, okay? The third woe, what the Bible speaks of. And we pretty much there. It just prophecies have to fall in line and certain moves have to be made. But I mean, we're pretty much in the third woe. And it reads, and called together against her the kingdom of Arad, many in Ashkenaz, and among the captain against her, caused the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars, man, and prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes. Okay, you got the Russians in there. You're going to have the Turks. You're going to have the Iranians, the Koreans. As you know, the Arab world, they're doing joint military drills. And it says the captains thereof and all the rulers thereof and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble and sorrow. For every purpose of the Lord should be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitants. So the purpose of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is to utterly destroy this place. And you know what? I would say to that, good riddance, man. All right? It can't come quick enough. In my humble opinion, it can't come quick enough. All right? I was ready for this place to be destroyed 15 years ago, before I got in the truth. But it says, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight, and they have remained in their holds, and their might have failed. Yeah, because they was afraid. Okay, when they see the type of destruction and opposition that come up against them from these nations and Yahweh Shai, that's going to put a sudden dread in these people, man. And these people understand that this third world war will be the end of all wars. So they're not even trying to entertain a thought of even fighting for a society that has totally depleted the men of their testosterone. Okay, a society that they put women above them. They shit on men, and people are looking at it like, wait a minute, you don't even take care of your veterans, man. Let alone the people here in America, you don't even take care of them. So why should we fight for you just to come back home with a plate in our head, you know, with no ear sight, or with no ear, with no hearing? You ain't walking no more. You're a total shell of yourself. Okay, you ain't got no rod left. You got one testicle left hanging on by a stitch and a thread. Who wants to come on to that? And then America totally leaves their veterans in poverty, man. Okay, the scripture said that a man of war is supposed to be taken care of. If you're a man of war, you're supposed to be taken care of, man. How the hell you think David was, all them wars that David fought? David had a lot of wealth, a lot of spoils, man. All right, but America, they don't, in Babylon, Esau, he don't treat his veterans cool, man. Okay, only how you're going to be somewhat decent shape if you're a veteran is if you are part of their establishment, if you sell out to their fraternity, because even within the military, you have secret societies within it. Okay, it's not as straightforward as people think. It's very cutthroat, you know, and the more you do on the left-hand side, then, you know, you get those rankings, you know. You ain't just getting there because you're a good soldier. No, you got to cut throats, and you got to basically be a lapdog for their ass, man. All right, so no, people don't want to join the military. But like I said, a draft has to come because they don't have the numbers. And it reads, and it says, they have remained in their holes, and the mighty men have fell, and they become as women. And that's a literal as well, because like I said, in the military, you can get sex changes, and they'll pay for it. And it says, they have burnt our dwelling places, and our bars are broken. And one post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one hand. And, you know, it says the king of Babylon, all right? And it says his, it didn't say her. All right, now we understand that the scriptures is written in code, so that's not, you know, necessarily a discrepancy. But then again, you know, the scriptures is plain for it. Okay, I don't think that would ever be a woman leader of Babylon the Great. I mean, having a female VP was enough. All right, and that was hell in itself because she ain't did nothing for nobody, you know. But yet you got a bunch of blabbering idiots online expressing their view opinions about why she lost, and they're blaming Jake, which Jake voted, 78% of Jake's voted for, you know. But it says here, and the passages are stopped, and the reeds have been burnt with fire, and the men of war are frightened, all right? So, yeah, these men are afraid. They're not trying to go fight for this place. You know, because like I said, man, the spirit of dread is coming upon these men. This place is getting ready to be destroyed. All right? Men of war. Let me look this up real quick. It was a scripture in Jeremiah 50. I wanted to get Jeremiah 50 and 30. Started verses 29. It says, call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about, and let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her works, and according to all that she has done, and unto her, for she have been proud against the Lord, the Holy One of Israel. So therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, says the Lord. Okay, so all you military men, you can get 1,000,000 men. At the end of the day, all your men are going to be cut off, man. All right, every last one of them, because it's in the prophecy, you see. And hey, a lot of you Jakes getting ready to get sent over there too, because matter of fact, it says this in 2 Ezra 16. 2 Ezra 16, and I'm going to start at verses 33, and I ended. It says, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms, and the women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. And in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Because, I mean, the ones that don't go over there, or that avoid or evade the draft, they're going to be put to death right in the streets of America, right? Through fucking famine, pestilence, civil war, okay? Because civil war is still not off the table. If anything, a civil war is more likely than ever now because Trump is in office. You know, remember when he got shot at, when they damn near took his head off, he threw up the fist pump, fight, fight, fight. All right, people are in that spirit still, okay? Because they're gung-ho. Okay, he's ignited that last bit of Edomite testosterone in these devils, man. So, you know, Esau walking around with his chest out. So, yeah, man, it's likely to have a civil war because they believe some way, somehow that the Democrats are going to try to stop him from taking office in January, man. So they may stage some type of martial law or some type of soft coup. We don't know. You know, there's just been reports and rumors out there. So we really don't know how it's going to go down. But, you know, this is the talk. So, I mean, a lot can go down from now up until then, you see. But there will be a draft eventually. So with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you were edified. Until the next.